If you're here to see a review of these tools up against each other actually running, then that will be up here or down in the description, or both. 3, 2, 1. This is the inside of a 36 volt Makita Rotary Hammer Drill. By 36 volt, it's actually 18 volt times 2 batteries. In this video we are going to compare the technology of around 5 years ago, a brushed rotary hammer drill compared to a brushless rotary hammer drill, and a 36 volt tool running on two 18 volt batteries compared to a 36 volt tool or 40 volt max running on one battery with newer cell technology. The batteries that run on here run on 18650 cells, whereas the battery on this tool uses 21700 cells. As well as that, we will look at the improvements in the vibration dampening technology from this tool to the modern tools. And yeah, just have a nosy at how these things work. First layer of case removed, we can see the insides of the front of each tool. The sections that are isolated from the main tool via vibration dampening still have the covers on. On this one, that's just this handle. On this one, it's the handle and the battery holder. We can see the motors are in the same orientation roughly, but this one much longer than the brushless. This one measures in at around 110 millimeters. This one only 65 millimeters. This one, the brushless, has the fan at the top here, as you can see, whereas this one has it down the bottom by the brushes. They have their LEDs in a different orientation. On the 36 volt here, it's right at the bottom. On the 40 volt, it's much higher up. There has also been an improvement and a size reduction from this gearbox to this one. This one is around 135 millimeters long, whereas this one is only around 120. This one does, however, have a removable chuck, which may have something to do with that. This one has not got a removable chuck, but you can get a model with a removable chuck. Other new technology since the brushed days, this works via Bluetooth and allows you to turn on your vacuum cleaner dust extractor, provided you have a chip in there. Let's take off the next layer of skin. Well, we've got a ton of wires going on inside these things. Switch wise, no name on the 36 volt, Omron in the 40 volt. The 36 volt, hear it clicking on and off, quite stiff. The 40 volt, much smoother. No noticeable click, just a nice variable trigger. The control board, almost twice the size on the 40 volt, much bigger. I'll show you all the wires on that in a moment. With the extra space they've saved here with the motor, they were able, without actually making the tool any bigger, they were able to put in this area here, which is a dust. This pokes up here and you have a dust extractor that fits on the front, hooks up so that it catches the dust directly from the drill point. For vibration mitigation, this has two springs here and here. This one has a similar spring at the top, but it doesn't have one at this point. This whole part springs. That has the battery on, but it actually doesn't feel like there's anything actually there. See, it doesn't pop back. This is just the plastic sliding within the case. So that's quite different. This one, basically only the area with the trigger is having the vibration dampening. This one, like I said earlier, the whole battery mechanism, the Bluetooth mechanism, quite a large chunk of the control panel, everything moves. Using these tools, this one feels much nicer on the vibrations than this one. So whatever they're doing here pretty helps the weight of the battery, being able to, I don't know, dampen the weight of this. You've got a 1 kg battery on here. Helps sort of maybe even things out compared to this one where the batteries are attached to the front. You've only got the handle. This 40 volt one also has variable speed, which this one didn't come with. We can see here the range of movement of the vibration dampening. If you look at that gap just there, there's your full vibration dampening, and looking at about 1/4 inch to 10 mil. There is a good 2 or 3 millimeters more here on the brushless one than there is on the old brushed version. Much harder to compress the springs on this one too. If we take a close look in the 40 volt here, see that white ring down the bottom there? There's also one on this side of the clamshell, so it's got a bit of sideways dampening as well. That little grommet there fits into this here, helps hold everything together and give you that vibration dampening without having a solid screw going through. This is also one of the nicest molds I've ever seen. It is solid, man. That is so rigid. It's very thick PA6 with 30% glass fibre, of course. Got a lot of strengthening through the middle here. It is a good solid, very hard to get it to flex. If we now take a look at the complexity of the wiring on the 36 volt, you can see quite a lot of wires in the handle here from the switch. We've got the positive and negative coming up here. We have a couple of ferrite cores down here which are on the cables going to the brushed motor. They haven't needed that on the brushless version. Here is the control board. Quite a few wires there, but I'm not pulling that out any further. These two little boards here are lights. They're battery indicators. They basically just say the battery is about to die or not. It's not a 3 or 4 bar system, it's just one light. 40 volt has not got that either, as all the batteries come with lights these days. So only those two, the pink and the black, going into the brushed motor. That's all you need in these sort of tools. You'll see a lot more on the brushless version in a moment. So there we have it. Coming over here to the 40 volt Max brushless model. There's a lot more going on with this switch, a lot more wiring coming out, having to go to the board and the motor. The board has a ton of stuff going on. You can't see anything in there, of course, because it's all full of silicon. All I can see sticking out is one very short fat capacitor. Over at the motor side of things, you can see the wires coming in here for the motor. We've got the power ones coming in here, and then we've got all these small controller ones that you don't need on the brushed model. We then of course have all the wiring for the dust extraction unit, powered dust extraction unit, and the Bluetooth coming through. The board is absolutely packed, and on the battery terminal we have 2 coming off the positive, 1 off the negative. We've got 3 other wires, a green, a yellow and a white. They are presumably for control of temperature overloads and maybe recognizing whether you've got the correct battery on there or not. Wow, there's a nice sturdy bit of steel on the back there just to help hold everything together. That's good to see. So there we have it, a look inside a 36 volt brushed rotary hammer drill and a 40 volt max brushless. Yes, 40 volt max is 36 volt. This tool is also 40 volt max. 40 volt max means the maximum basically that you're going to get out of those batteries, but their nominal rating is 36 volt. When you first charge them, you might get somewhere between 40 and 44 volts if you're lucky. Thanks for watching, guys. I just thought we'd have a quick look inside those while I had them here and while I already had this one open. And now I guess I can sell this one, because I don't need it anymore, because the 40 volt one is much nicer to use. Bit quicker, bit higher capacity, and a lot less vibration. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on another one. Let me know down in the comments if you want anything reviewed, or you want to have a look inside some of the tools I've got, or whatever. Just let me know, and maybe we'll do it on this channel or my other channel. If you haven't already subscribed to my other channel, have a look up in the corner, down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on another one. Bam. Bam. Bloody hell. Ooh, she's got a mucky nose.